Good morning, all. Give me a sec. My cat's being a total ass. Alright, guys, so it's a day after Thanksgiving for people in the States. 7:30, November, 25th? Let me fix that. Not 26th, 25th. This will be a quick one today. Daughter's gonna be up soon. Next week we go back to normal. Alright, so what do we got for today? The first one is in the news trading course, I see people with GBP USD issues. General rule of thumb for me, and here, let's take a look at it. One, my spread. Well, here, let's look at UJ spread is 1.3 to 1.5. It's bouncing a little bit too, but it's a little bit high. But cable is, I'm getting 1.6 up to 2. That for me is my first warning sign. The second thing you can do, jump over to Google. And honestly, this is probably the easiest way to check on it. I know this is going to sound stupid, but type in Brexit. And because not a lot of us live over there, so we don't know what's going on, go to search tools, do any time, and I would say do past week. If you find any relevant stories, BBC.com, anything, we got a shit ton of news on it, guys. Even Bloomberg's got it up there, New York Times, CNN, Washington Post. Warning sign. Don't be touching GBP USD. It still hasn't calmed. They're still going through their little Brexit thingies. The US pairs, because of Trump, seem to be surging. But, I mean, that's just a little bit of advice. I've been saying it this whole time about GBP since Brexit. I've dropped it to demo or 1% on the ones that I know move a lot. So, I would really suggest, I mean, if you're new to the news trading, just demo GBP for now until you can do that Google search and not see a bunch of news about Brexit, which I don't think will be anytime soon. Until they get a solid freaking plan in on what the hell they're doing. I mean, it was kind of like with the U.S. before the election. Nobody knew what the hell was going on, and now that we do know what's going on, the market's stabilized and is actually doing very well. With Brexit, we still don't have a freaking. I mean, well, as being in the United States, from what I can see, we don't have a clear-cut plan on what the hell they're going to be doing. It's just kind of, well, yeah, it got approved, but everyone's still bitching about it and things like that. So it's causing volatility on the pair. So hopefully, and I've been preaching that for quite a while now, guys. I mean, if anything, like I said, I'm doing 1% on the ones I know that move, but I'm still, a lot of them aren't even popping because my spread goes way out of whack. If the spread gets, I've had the spread go above 15, so it just kills the trade. And this is before the trade even hits. I'm trying to think what else. And you don't want to, second of all, remember, guys, if the spread gets too out of whack, and then it can cause some orders to pop prematurely. So don't risk it. If we know GBP USD is volatile, just stay the hell away from it. Even Pepperstone saw a loss this morning on the people that did trade it, because the spread, I think someone said, got up to 13 point some pips. And for Pepperstone, that's extremely high, if that was a Pepperstone spread. I'm not sure if it was an FXCM or a Pepperstone spread. But just, I mean, as an advice, Google it, go to you saw what I did, right? Google it, just go to search tools, and it'll give you a time frame. You can do past week. Oh, there's a freaking moth in here. No wonder the cat's going ape shit. Give me 1 second. Let me whack the thing so he can eat it. I know. It sounds weird. Okay, sorry about that, but my cat is extremely happy. I was wondering what was going on because he would not stop. He was like meowing and chittering, doing that little shit, and there was a moth on the ceiling, so I whacked it down. So he's playing with it. He's a weird cat. He like eats the shit out of bugs. Okay, so what were we talking about? Brexit and GBP, guys. Demo it or 1% it at worst case. Uh, Personally, I'm not touching it. I'm sticking with Euro USD, USD JPY, and I'm still playing with US CAD. Remember, I'm still looking at. This week was slow, but next week I'll be looking at forex.com. Spreads slightly higher on some pairs, but initial findings seem to indicate that the spread during news is a little bit more stable than FXCM. Won't know that until I get about 30, 60 days of data, though. Give me a sec. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Someone asked some Skype to me. Give me a sec so I can close this. Okay, so the second request we had for the day is somebody wanted to review the tab indicator, the TABB 3.1. I posted it up, or Paul posted it up in the Slack chat so that y'all could download it if you need it. We're going to go over the settings and what it does. It's one of the, I wouldn't say leftovers, it's one of the indicators that does take a look at a lot of things, and it has a lot of settings in it so you can actually adjust it out. We're on the 1 minute time frame, so I have it on here just so we can force it to fire. Oh my god, you ate it. He's sitting there licking his lips with a moth hanging out of his mouth. God, this is what happens. Give me a sec. Okay, guys, reminder, because for some reason I got a flurry of please send me updates. Updates are all on Mega, Mega NZ, and then we'll go over the indicator. Because I was just looking at Skype, I'm like, oh, this is the whole reason I did this. Two, if you're sending me a message on Skype, I'll probably just ask you for your email address and add you to Slack. If you don't get on Slack from there, or you don't get on Mega, I mean, there's not much I can do. Remember, everything is here. And let's see, somebody did sign up over the yesterday, so I'll add them real quick before I forget, and then we'll get in. George Gifford. There's not too much I can do, guys. And don't take it the wrong way when I say follow simple instructions, but I mean, I know it sounds dumb, but over the years I have 400 or 500 people out there or more, and it gets kind of annoying when you have it set up so it's all automated. Okay, so anyway, enough of my... Hold on a second. Okay, he's just getting in the chair. Alright, so tab, indicator list, let's bring it up. Tab version 3.1. We're going to go over the settings and what it does. This is just your typical reversal indicator, not typical, but it has a bunch of settings in it, as we can see. Now, if you're familiar with TA already, you should know what a lot of these things are there, and you can see that it kind of combines them all. I don't know if there's another moth in here or what, but he's on top of my other desk trying to jump. I have a glass light hanging from the ceiling, and he's trying to jump on it. Kitty has lost his mind today. Sorry, he's just being really bad. Okay, so tab is a reversal indicator. Reason it doesn't have arrows, it has little glasses now, is because I wanted it to be used as more of a just alert to get you to the chart and look, not to take a trade. Because as we can see, this thing there is no indicator out there that's going to be 100% It's basically just so you don't miss an opportunity. So just let's think of it that way. If my kitty acts up one more time, I am gonna take like 2 minute break and toss his ass out, or I'm gonna go see what the hell it is. Sorry if I'm an idiot. All right. So as we can see, it gives you a little pair of glasses. It's nothing fancy. Let's remove inlines. I'm distracted by my cat. I'm sorry. So there it is. So let's get into the settings. It's good for reversals. It's also good, believe it or not, at identifying when a run's coming. So it is kind of a double-edged sword, and I've said this before and it confused people. But blah. So let's go through the settings. Boba period, this is referring to Bollinger Bands. It's period 20 with a deviation being 2. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to. He's trying to get up onto the 3rd level of the desk every time I turn around. It's being a shit. Okay, before I get into this, let me do something with the damn cat. And then we'll run through all the settings on this. It is actually a pretty good indicator if you're either 4X sometimes or for, God, I can't even talk binary options. But give me like 2 minutes, guys. I'm sorry this video is a mess because my goddamn cat is just being horrible. Alright, guys, I really apologize for the delays. The cat's being horrible. He ran under the couch as soon as I tried to grab him. Okay, so tab, let's get into it. Bollinger Bands is the first two. So we're looking at period 2, deviations 2. The way this is default set up when it gets to you, it is basically a core qualified trade plus Bollinger Bands. Okay, so the first one, it has two RSI settings. It's set up at period 3, 50, 50, which means it just isn't looking at RSI. It means RSI is always qualified. If you want, you can put it like 90 and 10 or 80 and 20 if you want to take RSI into account. This is one of the indicators that was for the guys that had been in TA for a while that they had requested, because they all had their little favorite things that they like to use along with it. So you can do two different periods of RSI to help qualify a trade. Moving down next is value charts. Value bars to check, I put it at 50. For this, I'll put it at 500 because I wanted to see at least one pair of glasses on the chart. Everything else will stay the same. We don't want to mess with any of this. The one thing you can mess with is down here is upper value, lower value. If we change it, I'm going to change it to 5 and -5, and we'll see what we get on the charts. That is the threshold for value charts right there. We don't want to mess with this or this. Prime numbers we don't want to mess with. The last thing that you could do is down here, it's prime and pivot. So there's one for pivots, primes, and boths. I have it set to 1. If you hit it to 0, it will disable it, and it won't look at pivots or primes or boths. So let's hit OK and see what pops up on the chart then. So as you can see, it shows you all basically core qualified with overbought, oversold of 5 or -5. You can see it's not super reliable like this, but I just wanted to kind of demo what it is and go over the settings for it. If you're not sure about the settings, just leave it at default. I mean, it's not going to kill you. A lot of people don't even use this. It will give you some opportunities to spot trades, but right now the markets are relatively flat. I was hoping to see if we could find one that showed a run, but we don't really. Okay, so that covers tab. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I said I was going to do. Does anyone else remember? It's been a long, boring week because of Thanksgiving and everything. Does anyone remember anything else I was supposed to do? Monday is back to normal. I'm going to go a little bit over the Amazon web server. I did see somebody talking about time. Let's look at news real quick and see if that'll be a Monday or a Sunday thing. Tomorrow's nothing, of course. No, nothing, and then Monday. We have Draghi speaking at 8 a.m. and then, okay, so Monday's a dead day, so we'll just Monday. We will go over a few little things on the Amazon server. And let's take a look at Tuesday. Preliminary GDP QQ, there's a possibility of movement there. Consumer confidence, another possibility. And that's it for Tuesday, so we have two possibles on Tuesday. Remember, don't be trading these NZDs. You can demo them just fine, but the spread's going to be extremely high on them. They're good learning tools to see what happens when you place it on an extremely high spread, but they are not good tools to trade on a live account. They will burn up your account. Bank stress test results, I have no clue on that one, to be honest. All day OPEC. This is going to affect the oil release for this week, which is right down here, crude oil inventories. That's going to be interesting. We got Draghi up again. Remember, next week is NFP. Wednesday we'll start gearing up for it. So we'll do our NFP dry run on Wednesday. For those of you looking at other pairs, last month NFP was a dud. So hopefully this month we don't. After the Trump, I say it's employment, so the Trump election really won't have a lot to do with it. But we do on, this is what, Wednesday? Wednesday we have quite a few. Let's focus on the ones we shouldn't touch. Is the 630 AUD capital expenditure. You can do that demo to see what happens on a shit conditions. China and China. Again, we do not touch these, especially on a China pair. 80 plus pip spread on those. If you do try that, you're going to get screwed. Thursday, manufacturing, unemployment claims, and another manufacturing. So we got 3 good ones lined up. AUD retail sales at 6:30. Again, you can demo this one. Do not live trade it. And then Friday is our fun day. Friday we got NFP. Remember, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all together. Now, if all the USD line up and go green, we'll see a nice movement. If we get conflicting, then you might see something like what happened last month. I doubt it, though, because it's pretty rare when NFP is a dud. I would ask that if by Wednesday, guys, if you have them, share your settings that you used for NFP with the other guys so that they can kind of get an idea. I'll be covering FXCM, but if your Pepperstone guys could share what your settings were for NFP, that would be great. And what your max spread was during those releases for the past couple months, because I know this is going to be our 3rd or 4th, maybe 5th month for some of you that I got in really early for the news trading. So next week is a fun one. It all gears up to Friday. It's going to start off slow, and it's going to pick up pace after that. Monday, like I said, we'll go over to the Amazon web server. By the end of the week, NFP. I mean, for me, that's my biggest one, because when it moves, and it's a nice way to make a big chunk of pips in 10 seconds. Let's see if there's anything. The only thing we hope for is no whipsaw. Remember, we have the fail-safe in there. We'll go over that on Wednesday too. So again, to review, GBP USD, personally, unless it's a heavy mover, take it off the table. We have a lot of GBP this week, but I would say demo them, to be honest. If you're live, I would say drop GBP to a demo until all this Brexit clears up, and God knows when that's going to be. And again, just a good, easy way to do it. Go to Google, type in Brexit. Go to search tools, go to anytime. We can do the past week. And again, we can see news about it all over the damn place. Like I said, we have The Guardian, Telegraph, which some of these are crap, but then you see BBC, you see Bloomberg, CNN, Washington Post, New York Times. When you see big news places like that reporting on it, and none of it looks like really good news, then we want to stay out. And it's just a simple, easy way to check on it. So let's open it up. Do we have questions? If so, let's get them out there. I'm pretty much done for the day. I'm going to go. I gave my cat a feather toy, so he's distracted. He finally came out. Trying to get him here. I was going to take a picture. He got out the last couple days. He's been going apeshit because he's discovered that there are birds outside and squirrels in the back tree. There's a little boy and girl squirrel in the back tree. Since he's gotten out, he has not acted the same. Let's see, how is Euro USD performing for you? Let's see, in order. I'm just answering, and then I'll read what I wrote. Okay, so I had a question. How's the Euro USD performing for me? And let's see, in order of how things are performing live over the last 2 months, USD JPY is the best. Euro USD is in second. GBP USD, since Brexit, I've barely touched. At that time, I did on demo. USD JPY is also performing my best. Euro USD is holding in at second, with US CAD basically holding in with second with it. I've been making little tweaks to USCAD on demo, and GBP USD again on demo is shit. I'm just not liking it. The problem with GBP USD for me is not the sometimes the moves are there, but the spread's screwing the trade up. So before I can even get into the profit, the spread's closing the trade out. Alright, so we haven't had any questions other than Robin, where is what you sent me so I can see. Okay, Robin, are you in live? I can answer that. Okay, so let me load up something real quick. We'll see. Template. Renko News. God, I gotta kill some of my templates. Okay, so Robin, part of your question is here is, let's say we have 3 pairs open. You can change the trade log name in each one of these. So let's say this was, you could name this USD JPY1. You can rename the log file on different charts. Let me go back to your question now. Do you want, okay, so let's say for the EA you want like rename this like Straddle 1, Straddle 2, Straddle 3 so that you can have the same EA but different names for it? I kind of see where you're going with it. Yeah, I think that would work, and it would provide an easy issue because the coder is having some issues with it creating different log files. Because it has to basically rename this file on the fly, and it can't. He's not seeing a way to really do it properly. But I can create. Fuck, I can create 6 different versions of the EA. We'll call it EA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then also in the trade log you can create its own name, and it will create the trade log with its own name. Is if that's what you mean, just let me know, and I can have that ready here in a little bit. There's such a delay, I gotta wait. I feel like an idiot. But if that's what you mean, Robin, yeah, I can create EA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then in the trade log, you just give it whatever name you want, and it will create a trade log for that. Okay, cool. See, I was trying to get I didn't think about it going about it. Thank you. I actually did not think about doing it that way. I was thinking about having the coder hard coded in. Yeah, the trade log, you can rename that to whatever the hell you want. I think BTS EA was Brian Trade Straddle EA. That's all the BTS stood for, was Brian Trade Straddle. Because remember, this was what I was using personally before the signals failed miserably because they were moving too fast for the new signals. But yes, I can create. How many do you want? How many EA numbers do you want? Just let me know, and then I'll create them. Actually, very good idea. That'll save the coder a headache, and then I have a different idea for him anyway. And guys, ignore my settings. This is not my set file. Because you're going to see max spread 60. Ignore it. We're just talking about the trade log right here. Because everyone always comes in and says, I see your settings. much easier for me just to type in, sorry, but then it doesn't go on the video. So what we're talking about is, see, this is called Brian Straddle V6. What we've noticed is there's a little problem sometimes if you have the same pair open on a day with multiple trades that day, it doesn't fire off. It is for some people and it wasn't for some people. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename this EA1, EA2, or whatever. Just there's going to be 6 of them. And then down here, this log file, you can name it whatever you want. Looks like over the weekend I'll have a lot of work to do because I need to put in the Amazon information into the book, and then we're going to talk about this. This one's going to be... I just don't know how to explain it to people. I'll try and explain it to them. I'll try and find a news day that's heavy with like 6 different reports on the same pair so we can see how to load it up. But thank you, Robin. That actually fixed my problem. I'm going to tell the coder to stop now because I think that will fix it. Oh, sorry, I just burped in the mic. So that gives me a project for the weekend. And another update to Le Book. He's staring at the squirrels outside now. His tail starts going ape shit. It gets real fluffy and then he starts wagging like into the wall where you can actually hear it hit. It's funny. As for the templates, I don't think that would really matter because the templates are inside of the EA, so as long as the EA has a different name. But I mean, if we want to be crazy, we could create like GBP template, and then GBP1, GB2, GBP3, whatever gets us down to 0 issues at all. Because I think it's like 6 months ago, it was not an issue. The 1010 build, I think, changed a couple things on how EAs work. I actually think what they're doing is gearing up for it to run a little bit like MT5, where with MT5 you can have 3 EAs on the same pair. Because we're slowly seeing the coding language in MT4 almost mimic exactly MT5. Which, if the brokers would start supporting MT5, I would pay to get this thing transitioned over, because MT5 can support multiple cores on a CPU, where MT4 can only support 1 core. And that honestly is the last step we have. When you have the VPS, everything's set up right, no misfires. The last step we have is and this is just like in a dream world, is if I could get this running on MT5 with a decent broker, that would be nice, because it would improve just a tad bit. And remember, every little millisecond, as y'all have seen, every little millisecond helps. So that would be my dream, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, hell, if they could offer an MT4 dual core or that supports multiple cores, that'd be awesome. Okay, so that gives me some projects to do. Let me send an email to myself real quick. What we need to do. Weekend. Make EA have different names. Template names. And Amazon book. Okay, so I sent an email to myself so I'll remember. Any other questions today, guys? Monday we'll go over that. Monday will basically, I'll sum up everything I did over the weekend. We'll go over the changes in the book, and those will cover the Amazon questions we had too. I honestly, from what I saw, I didn't realize with the Amazon that the time was disabled on it. I would prefer not to run anything additional on it, so I'm going to take a look at the two. I like the network time sync better though, just because Windows is notorious for not syncing up and getting a few seconds out even when it is running a network time sync. But I'll hear your opinions on that. See what we think by Sundays when I'll be redoing everything again. But thank you for the ideas. The Amazon idea was a reminder from someone that isn't even in the course, that just watches the videos. And he's like, you did the video a year ago, and he threw it up and tried it. He doesn't have the EA, but he wanted to see what the ping time was to those servers, and he's the one who found out that the ping time was like 6 to 8 milliseconds. See, and just to go back to tab real quick, say let's put alert GBP USD. Remember, this isn't infallible. It doesn't mean it's going to go there. What we have is it's hitting a previous resist. There's a mosquito in here. And remember, you want to use confluence on this. This is 1 minute, so it really doesn't pertain, but just from here, I would give this blah, blah, blah. Probably it's a -5 or +5. I would say not dropping. And you can see this does not repaint. Oh, that was the other question. Cool. It does not repaint. You can see here's a glasses and another glasses. Here's a glasses, another glasses. People get these repainting ones, and what that means is when it fails here, this one disappears and it redraws here. So it looks like it's always working. As we can see here, this one trade could have came through, but it still repainted another one because when it got up to here, it popped the conditions again. So non-repainting, yes, it does not repaint. All right, any other questions, guys? Thank you for all the feedback we've been getting. It's stuff that I mean, in 2 years, these are little things that I missed because I mean I just didn't do it as much, and my setup was a little different. See, now we got 3. Oh God, my tummy. It's making noises. So if we have no other questions, guys, I don't got much else. This gave me a little bit to do for the weekend. Remember, next week is NFP. If you're new to the course, get your questions out there, please. I don't want to hear any excuses. Do not go live for NFP just because it's... If you're in it for your first week, do not go live. I'm trying to think of anything else. Again, I'll be watching Forex.com for the next 30 days at least to see if their spread holds, if their spread does not vary as much during a news release. It is lower on some pairs, a little bit higher on some pairs, but I'm mainly looking at US CAD. To sum up what I was doing there is I was looking for a better broker for US traders because Pepperstone is just pretty much the shit. They're really good, and US traders don't have any equivalent to it. It's not like it's that bad, but I would like a little less wobbliness during a news release on the spread, and if they can do it, that'll be awesome. So I'm trying to think. I think that's about it, guys. And look, you can see definitely this does not mean take a trade. Here's 4 in a row so far. Okay, guys, so I'll be around on Slack most of the day. This is my last day with my, well, the weekend, but this is my daughter's last day of her Thanksgiving vacation, which I didn't know was a thing till this year. So I'm going to be spending a little time with her. She's going to be up probably any time now because she went to bed really early. She was exhausted because she woke up super early for Thanksgiving. But if you have any questions, hit me up. Again, thank you, Robin, for suggestion on this one. I think that will definitely work. I already just sent an email to the coder telling him to skip it, that we don't need to work on that anymore. He's probably going to want to beat me now, but oh well. I think this will be a little bit easier way to do it. Again, I can't say it enough. GBP USD, lay off it. We can see my spreads. I'm 1.4 to 1.9, and sometimes I'm 2.1. And this is nothing going on right now, and it's all over the place. I'm getting I'm getting almost a half a pip to actually a 0.6, 0.7 pip variable on that. It's just bouncing back and forth. And that's just going to get exaggerated when news hits. So I had 2, now it's up to 2 pip spread, and it's popping up to 2.1, and I've seen 2.2. See, there was 2.2. Okay, so like I said, 1.4 to 2.2, that's ridiculous. It's almost a 1 pip fluctuation. And if we look at UJ spread down here, 1.4, 1.3 to 1.7, it's not too bad. But at least it's lower too. And Euro, I'm getting 1.3 to 1.6. All right, so I babbled enough to let people get in any last minute questions, and there weren't any. Again, guys, thank you. You're doing great. The ones in the news course, the feedback I'm getting so far is great. And I will see y'all Monday. Since there is nothing going on really on Monday, I was going to do it Sunday, but there's nothing going on Monday, so we'll have plenty of time. There's Draghi at 8, and I'm not going to trade his ass. Have a good weekend, and if you have questions, hit me up. And